Alright, I wanted to make a video about my current knife collection. I've over past 10 or 20 years, I've bought a lot, got rid of a lot, sold a lot, and then these are the ones that have kind of stuck and stayed. Each of them, some of them I don't really use as much. Some of them, if I didn't have any, a handful of these I would absolutely replace. So first I'm just going to go through what every single one is, then I'll go through them by detail. This is a Higo Nakami blue steel knife. This is a Kershaw Leek, no introduction needed. This is a Stanley all metal body utility knife, not much introduction needed there. This is a Mora Craftline Basic 511 carbon steel. Still available for like $11 or $12. This is a Mora Robust, still available for $18. Here's a Mora Companion in carbon steel, still available for I think about 18 bucks. There's an X-Acto knife, Stanley, made in the USA. Here's a Mora Companion Heavy Duty in carbon steel. I have a Mora Companion in stainless steel, which is about the thickness is between these two, but that's not here in another vehicle. This is a my favorite knife of them all, the Fallkniven F1 in COS steel. Here's a Bark River Aurora Light. This is a great knife. It doesn't get that much use, but this is a very, very cool knife. This is a kitchen knife, 6-inch chef's knife. It's a Winco or Acero 6-inch chef knives. It's high carbon German steel, X50C CRMOV15. So basically chromoly, I think, maybe, I don't know, sure, CRMOV15. But this, we have 2 or 3 of these. This is nice, excellent for the kitchen. Then a Henkel's made in Germany 3-inch paring knife. This is we have a handful of these two. So these are our primary 2 kitchen knives. And then over here, Leatherman Micra, 2 mini Victorinoxes. This one has a pair of scissors, and this one has bottle opener. Then the other side's the same, I believe. And this is absolutely, of all the Victorinoxes, this is my favorite one. It is not the Champ, I think it's the Ranger, but it's the one that this is the one not the model I had when I was a kid. That was my favorite one. It has the knife, it has the scissors, and it has the saw. So I don't know if it's out of nostalgia or what, but this is absolutely, like, of all the Victorinoxes, this is totally my favorite because it has like all of the, I feel like the right set of tools that you expect out of a Victorinox. Then there's, I actually found this on the ground back when I was in elementary school. I still have it. This is a Victorinox Officer or something or another, but super, not my favorite one, but still can get the job done. It's pretty thin. Then there's my favorite multi-tool is Leatherman Wave. I've had this for years and I've used it quite a bit. And that's it. So those are my main blades. I'm going to go through what I like and what are my favorite ones. First, I'll just lay out what I actually really like and use pretty much day to day. It would have to be the Kershaw Leek, Leatherman Wave, these two absolutely, Leatherman Micra, Mora Companion non-heavy duty, the regular one. This is one of my favorite ones. Fallkniven F1, 6-inch chef's knife, 3-inch paring knife. Utility. I don't use this every day, but I mean in the garage I use this pretty much a lot. And more robust. This one I don't use that much. I don't know why. I probably would. I probably should. I ended up purchasing this one, and so in the garage for rough use I use the more robust. In retrospect, I bought this one because it was on like a crazy like deal or something, and so it ended up in the garage. But I probably should have just used this one where I use this. But this is nice for heavy use because it's so thick. The blade is so thick. I don't use this that much, but I mean you need to have an X-Acto knife. So, and then the Higo Nakami I really don't use that much, primarily because these two, in terms of like ergonomics and ease of use, I definitely like the blade on this Higo Nakami better. It's sharper. It's I think it has a little bit better thought behind it, and the grind. That's the reason I really like it. The grind just straight down. I think it almost is like a concave grind, whereas this has that secondary micro bevel. But the full overall package of this leak is superior. I mean, because of the liner lock, the deployment mechanism, the clip, the balance is a little bit more handle heavy, the ergonomics of how you can hold it. Higo Nakami, no safety, flips down. You're carrying it somewhere, there's a potential of this thing to get snagged and maybe flip open. When using, there's no liner lock. I guess there's this where you kind of choke up on it. The handle's not comfortable. This digs into your skin, but the blade is exquisite. So if I could have something, I would love this Higo Nakami blade in this body. That would be a killer. That'd be a killer knife. All right, so I use these quite a bit. And then this one I don't use that much because of the Leatherman Wave. It's just so much more versatile. It's a little larger and bulkier, but having a set of pliers, I don't carry this in my pocket, obviously. It kind of stays in like my vehicle or my bag. Whereas this one, even this one, I think it's a little bit cumbersome to carry in my pocket. If I ever wanted to carry something in my pocket, it'll only ever be this Leatherman Micra or the Kershaw Leak. That's about it. Now, if I had to, if I didn't have any knives and I had to go back out and purchase some knives and replace them, I'll tell you what I would replace in what order. First and foremost, it goes without saying I'd replace the two kitchen knives. 3-inch paring knife. I think this one was like 20 or 30 bucks. Kind of expensive, but it's a nice knife. Then I would replace the 6-inch chef knives by Acero. This is only 20 bucks. This is a fantastic knife for the price. Excellent steel. I think Winco is like a supplier of, easy to resharpen, is a supplier of like restaurants and stuff. And so this is just like a industrial kitchen use, good enough steel, not like the thinnest, pretty robust, and definitely not like some of those high-end $100, $200 Japanese knives. But you know, this ends up going through the dishwasher. You can see this edge is not perfect, and it's just a rough use kitchen knife that is not treated particularly well. And so I'd replace these two. First this, then this, and then the next thing I would probably get is Leatherman Wave. Then I would get the probably Mora Companion or Kershaw Leak. It would be a tie between these two. Then I would replace next is this utility blade. Then I would get probably this X-Acto knife. And then, even though this is my favorite blade, it doesn't get as much use as everything else I've put out already. So this is the order of how I use the blade. So that one, or which ones get the most use? This one, Leatherman Wave, Kershaw Leak, Mora Companion, utility blade lives in the garage. Then even and then this one, then maybe the more robust, because this gets quite a bit of use and it's such a rough use nice. I don't care if I mess it up. And then the last one I would probably replace, even though this is my favorite blade. Maybe last. This is definitely the most expensive as well. I don't know if I would replace this Bark River Aurora Light in CPM 3V. It's such a nice blade. It's amazing. The handle's so it's like feels like it was just made for me, but it's expensive, and I'm only ever want to use it for very dedicated things. And out of these two, this one's seen a lot more use. But this is this is more of like, this is my, my Rolex knife, just one that's really nice that you don't want to quite mess up, and you just kind of, it's nice. But I get the same feeling out of this one too. And probably because of the steel and the grind. It's also layered steel, or laminated, I don't know, laminated or sandwich steel, whatever you call it. And then if I Mora heavy duty, this one stays in my vehicle. If I were to replace this or knife for my vehicle, I'd probably get the companion instead. I had the Mora Garbergs before, and I got rid of them. I had them both in stainless steel and carbon steel. And the reason I didn't like them, because of the type of grind and the thickness of the blade, I felt like this shoulder was always getting in the way. That happens a little bit with this one as well. If I remember correctly, the Garberg might have even been thicker than this. But anyways, I feel like with this type of grind, this thickness is fabulous. This Mora Companion, I felt like it's one of the best designed Moras, just because of this. The grind's nice, but this blade's thin enough that this shoulder doesn't get in the way. And what's even cooler is after a handful of sharpenings, this shoulder even gets kind of smoothed out to where it almost, not quite, but kind of handles like a concave blade. And so this is one of my few blades that's gotten absolutely better with time and sharpening. This Mora Companion in carbon steel. So this is definitely one of my favorite. It's very easy to sharpen, especially with that nice thin profile. I've messed it up, dinged up the edge, but resharpened it out every time. That's about it. I'm gonna maybe make another video and go into a little bit more depth of details about why this one, why I got rid of the Mora Garberg. The main reason I'll say it really quickly. The main reason I got rid of the Mora Garbergs is at that price point, every time I just felt like the Fallkniven F1 in VG10 was a better deal and a better knife than either of those Mora Garbergs. Not that the Mora Garbergs were bad knives, but given the sum of money that those Garbergs cost, I don't know if the prices have changed, but at the time, if you handed me that much money, as much as a Garberg cost, and said, go get a knife, I would have absolutely taken a F1 and VG10. I think the COS is much better in terms of sharpenability, durability, and how edge retention. But of course, this is a lot pricier than the VG10. But at the price point of the Garberg, I'd probably take a VG10 Fallkniven F1 every time. So other people may have different opinions. I think the steel was awesome. I just didn't like that the grind in the shoulder. Whereas VG10, the COS Fallkniven, these blades come down really nicely. I can't remember if the VG10 is laminated or not. I don't think it is. Can't remember. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm going to make another series of videos just going into a little bit more depth about differences between the different Moras, this one versus its competition, and how I ended up with each one. All right, thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for the other videos. Bye-bye.